welcome to episode 15 of the Crafty Historian Podcast. My name is Rachel and I am a third year history student at the University of York. If you want to find me, you can find me on Ravelry as RachelRavenclaw and on Instagram as RavenclawRachel. We do have a podcast group in Ravelry. I always forget to mention it, and as such it's very dead, but if you would like to chat, then just search Crafty Historian and you should come up with it. Who knows? I've mainly just oh, excuse me, I think there's like 3 things in there, but it's something that I feel we could definitely develop. So yes, today is the 4th of November. We are about 11:30, and I will say I've only heard one person in my flat stir so far. But then what do you get for living with 6 boys? Not my choice, but anyway. So if I'm rather quiet, I do apologise. I can come up here, that might make it easier, but I just don't want to wake them up by talking to myself. So anyway, how have you all been? We'll get on to how I've been later, but I think we shall start with some finished objects. My first finished object I do not have with me because I've already gifted it, and those were my socks for my godmother Suzi. And hopefully I can insert a picture. If not, those were the green and blue sort of frosty coloured ones. I finished those plenty of time. It was just a ball of King Cole zigzag in the colourway Michigan, I do believe. So King Cole zigzag. Oh, I knit it on 2.75mm needles. Toe up 60 stitches. I did just a short row heel and a 2x2 rib at the top. All done, nice and packaged away, and she was very happy with them. So my next finished object, I've actually got a bag here, a bag of stuff to show, and yes, can you tell I'm very proud of where I go to university. It's my ducks, because fun fact, the waterfowl outnumber the students 4 to 1, so for every student there are like 4 different types of birds. But that's a tangent. My second finished object are my finished Yule ball socks. I haven't woven in the ends yet, but I did show these to you last time. So this is from a London House Yarns in the Yule ball colourway. Oh goodness, do excuse me. It was a petite feet set, so I wound off 2 25-gram balls matching, so that I knew I would get matching socks. I stuck in a fish lips kiss heel in the contrast colour, add a contrast toe, and then I just did 12 rows of 1x1 twisted rib at the top. Probably better showing it that way because the beginning of the round's not in there. So yes, still got to weave in the ends, but I'm very happy with them. They're such gorgeous colours too. I doubt I'll be able to just not wear them until Christmas. So, especially as it's sock washing day tomorrow, and then of course everything takes so long to dry, so I may sneak a wear in before December. But these were knit 56 stitches, toe up, 2.75mm needles, my usual, and these were knit for Amy of Stranded Dye Works festive sock along, which is still ongoing until the 1st of December, as you will see in one of my whips. So they are done. moving on, I don't believe I showed you these, but I've shown you my project before, and that needs is to make my friends mini Weasley jumpers for Christmas. Here they are. So I've knit these two. This one's for my friend Helena and this one's for my friend Emily. And these is just some DK acrylic and 4mm needles. I sew little hanging loops into them just to make things easier, and I really like them. They're so quick and easy because I've done the pattern so many times now. There we go, that's better. And I adore this colour. This was the last I had of this colour though, so that's all of that gone. Now I just need to track some down in a similar colour but in wool rather than acrylic, because this is just acrylic, because I quite like something knit in that colour. It's my favourite colour. But they're done. They were nice and simple. And another one for the Christmas pile. I don't have many things left to knit for Christmas, and it's really exciting, because I've got two things. We're moving on to whips now anyway, so I can talk about them. I have two whips at the moment which are Christmas presents. They're both for my mum, and I don't think I have anything else. Oh, I've got a hat for a friend, and I think I'm going to knit a Hufflepuff bookmark for another, but there's nothing like big left. Everything's cast on at the very least. So, sorry, manoeuvring. Also, sorry if I make pained faces, but just before I filmed, I rolled my toe and it is currently swelling and turning a delightful shade of purple. So, I may have broken my toe, and if I look in pain, that's why. But yes, we're going to start with the work in progress that you have seen. Last week I was knitting, well not last week, last time I podcasted, I knitted a swatch. Sorry, that's my hair gets everywhere. And the swatch was for the Malaga tank by Alison Green. And it's by Barocco. But yes, this is what I am knitting for my mum for Christmas. I am knitting it in Drops Merino, extra fine, Unicolor in the Heather colourway, colour 34. This is so soft, it's really nice. And I've already put a fair amount of work into it. Mum decided she didn't want the sort of crochet hem at the bottom, so the first thing I did when I cast on, it's not going to work here, was to knit a small garter ridge. It is flipping at the moment, but my solution is going to be I'm going to crochet along the inside this little ridge bit here closed. So if I fold that in on itself, it should lay flat. I think that'll be a nice border. But as you can see, I've knit a fair amount already. Fold that down. Come on. So I've done all the waist decreases here. So you did 5 decreases. I've now got about another ½ an inch to knit before I do the increases, and then there's just arm shaping. So I feel I've done a substantial amount already. I've only used 3 balls and I think I had 8. So I'm saying it's going to come to about here. I mean, it's quite long, so yeah. I am knitting the 4th size out of 7, so really that's quite impressive. It's sort of really wide range of sizes, and yes, it's going really well. I am enjoying it. It's a lot of stockinette, but I don't mind that, particularly after I've done a long day. A little bit of stockinette doesn't hurt. So this is going. I am getting distracted though, because that's my nature with jumpers. It's like, oh, there are more pretty things that I could be doing instead. No, Rachel. So this is knit on a 3.75mm needle. I didn't tell you before. 3.75mm needles. Drops Merino. Malaga tank. For my darling mama. So that needs to get a little bit more work on, I feel, before I've got 2 months. What am I talking about? Well, 6 weeks. I think I'd like it finished before I go home for Christmas, which gives me 4 weeks. But I'm just keeping it in this bag, which I made. It is a little small, I will say, so perhaps I need to make myself a sweater sized bag. Who knows? But it's just got these lovely roses on it. I lined it with this white and pink fabric. You can't tell, but those are oh yeah, you can. These are slightly dotty, and I've just got a zip. So yes, that keeps it safe, and my corners are not bad. My box bottom corners. I've made a lot worse. That side is better, but I have made worse. So yes, there we go. Right, as I said, I've got most of my gifts are for my mum, and the other thing I have for her, the little toe. This is just going to be another vanilla sock. Her feet are about as wide as mine, so I'm knitting 56 stitches, 2.75mm needles. I've just done a toe up increase with a navy blue toe. That is a, oh, got all tangled. It's a Sheep's Invicta Extra in the navy. As you can tell, I haven't done much on it. And then I am using this ball of Opal, nice blue. Opal 20 years. Don't know what that means, but it started. That's all that matters, and now I can just go. I will just do another slip stitch heel in this and a 2x2 rib. So I can't really talk much about this because I only cast it on yesterday, but I knew I had to get started or I would forget altogether. So that's done, because what I had been doing instead was working on my own stuff, which is all well and good, but I am a generous knitter and I like giving things to other people. I am a process knitter. I use it to feel like I'm doing something, because I get twitchy if I'm not doing something. So I'm not content to sit and just watch a film. I wanted to sit and do something whilst watching a film. Long, you get what I mean. So yes, it makes me feel better that I'm producing something for someone else rather than just spending money on me. But hey ho. Where did that come from? I don't know. But anyway, my distraction had been that I cast on another pair of festive socks for me. There's my foot, but I didn't do toe up this time because I wanted to put a slip stitch heel in. This is where I am at. So it's a 2x2 rib and it's the first time I've ever done a long tail cast on, and I must say I do quite like it. It looks nice and neat. So I just did a couple of repeats down to the cuff, down to the heel even. Did a slip stitch heel, which I really like the fit of. I just can't be bothered to figure out the maths how to do it toe up. I've done the heel, I've done all the gusset decreases, so now I'm just whizzing down, which is why I've got this, so I don't have to keep trying it on. I reckon I've got another colour repeat to go before I stick in my toe. This is another Invicta Extra, because why not? And the yarn I'm using is West Yorkshire Spinners in Hollyberry, which I've wanted for ages, and I finally bought, and then they released the candy cane one, which I couldn't justify. But hey ho, these are going to be absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. If I have enough yarn left, I may knit my mum another pair of socks out of this for Christmas, because we always get each other Christmas socks, and I think it'd be quite nice if we could have matching socks. I'd put a different heel colour in her for her foot though. I put black in or something just so we'd be able to tell whose were whose. So anyway, that's only been going, I was knitting it on my seminar on Tuesday, so it's had less than a week's work, which I think is fair. There's that. And my last whip is one you haven't seen for a while, because it's quadrant number 4. My Cozy Memories blanket. So if you don't know, what I'm doing is I knit 2 squares from each mini skein that I get, and I pattern them in the same direction. So I've got, bear with. Right, sorry about that. I should have thought earlier to actually bring things to demonstrate. But if you haven't seen before, the way I'm doing my memory blankets is for every mini skein. So for example, this is quadrant number 1. So I've got it to 4x4. I knit an identical quadrant. This isn't going to work well. There we go. Yay, look, you can tell they're pretty much identical. So the way it will work, this is going to go terribly wrong. We'll drape that one there. This is my this is quadrant number 3. Oh goodness. This is like, I don't know what this is like, but it's not good. Is it that way? No. That way. Right. Ta-da! Oh, I feel ridiculous. But anyway, so the opposite quadrants go in the opposite corners. That was far too much hassle. So this is quadrant number 3. I'm currently building quadrant number 4 up to match this one, and then I'm going to build both of them up to 4x4. So, long-winded. I do apologise. What I've knitted on is these 3 outer ones, because all 4 of these are from Nora George and her Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. She did a special pre-order release sort of thing. And I had previously knitted this one, which is Kingsley Shacklebolt, if I remember correctly. This one here is Creature, 12 Grimmauld Place, and Battle at the Astronomy Tower. So I've knitted those ones up, and it's just really nice because I can sort of churn a square out in an evening. If I'm not feeling any of my projects, it's just like, yeah, just go. As again, this process knit. So the next one I'm going to be picking up Oh no, have I knitted them in the wrong way round? No, I haven't. Phew. So I'm going to knit the yellow one here, which is Golden Snitch. I'll just show you this one, because this is my Harry Potter quadrant. Because we've got Nora George in the middle, and we've got Kate Celine? I think it's Kate Celine. But her hand-dyed Harry Potter mini skein surprise club around the outside. We have Golden Snitch, Hedwig, House Colours, Patronus, and Every Flavour Beans. So those 5 are my next endeavour, and then I need to plan out what I'm doing for my next round. Once I've got to there, I may allow myself to go on a bit of a mini skein binge. Not that I haven't been already. Whoops. But yes. Cozy Memories blanket, out of hibernation. I have a feeling most people's are for some reason. Oh yeah, that reason. It's winter. So that is all my yarny goodness. I have one sewing whip. Well, not a whip, it is a faux. But it's very simple. I just made, because it was Halloween, and I hate Halloween. But Swing Dance Society, of which I am the secretary, we ran a workshop, and the social dance was myths and legends themed. So we had plenty of Greek gods and goddesses, all sorts. We had a couple of Thors, we had some unicorns, we had someone turn up as the president of the universe from Hitchhiker's Guide. That was an amazing costume. And we also had a guy turn up in a 2003 Busted Talk t-shirt, loosely interpreting the theme there. But I, being who I am, decided to go as someone no one understood, no one knew who she was. I went as the Morrigan, and I will talk about her more in history, my history section. But this seems to be a recurring theme for me. It's like, I like obscure goddesses. If we reflect back and think about what my dissertation topic's on. So I went as the Morrigan, and I just made myself this little capelet. It's just half a metre. Is it half a metre or a quarter? I can't remember. Of sort of silky lining fabric. I'm just going to take it off the hanger actually. Which I gathered up on this ribbon so it wouldn't strangle me and it wouldn't like all collect in the back. And I've sewn a double layer of feathers onto the hem here. And it actually worked really well. I finally got my sewing machine back. It was at my friend's and I hadn't collected it. So it just sort of sat like this as I was dancing. And it was really nice, and I'll see if I can put a picture in here. Because there are some really good pictures. Photographs obviously not taken by me because I was dancing. So yes. I made a costume-ish. Essentially I just wore this, stuck a load of feathers in my hair and wore a black dress. We're sorted. Golden. This is why it's good to be crafty, folks. But then you know that anyway. So really, that's all I've been making recently. Unfortunately, when I get low and down and I can't make things, what do? I buy things. Oh, sorry. Ah! Oh, that's a good colour. Sorry, you don't need to know about my foot. think I've broken my toe. Anyway, so we're going to move on to some acquisitions. Starting off with a wool warehouse order, which in my defence is pretty much all gifts again. Whether or not I make them in time for Christmas is another matter. So the first thing here is a cream Aran, which I am meant to be doing a test knit for Zoe of Pins and Needles, and I was going to be doing it in this. And Zoe, I'm really going to try and cast it on if you're watching this, but we will talk in life update of why I'm having, excuse my language, a bit of a time. But anyway, cream is for a test knit. It's just Stylecraft Special Aran, 100% acrylic. It will end up as a gift for someone, regardless. Right. Then I have same thing, Special Aran Stylecraft. Oh, this is the shade Emperor. So that means this one, it's just cream. So purple, I promised I'd knit my friend Polina, cable hat like I knit my friend Chloe. So there's a hat to knit. I'm umming a lot today, I do apologise. I also got 2 more Stylecraft Candy Swirl cakes in the blue colourway, so that if I get enough time I can crochet up my mother a blanket like the one I did for my friend Grace. So we'll see how that goes. Should be good. Yes, and then also in here I bought the red and the navy for heels, cuffs and toes. I also got a burgundy and a cream because I really like the look. So we're going to rock the look. But alas, we didn't stop there. I kept the rest of it in my Perth Festival of Yarn, which Eva kindly sent to me. So we're going to start off firstly with a thing which is again for a gift, and that is, I went into Boys and got some snowman and the snow dog fabric. Look at the snow dog. So I got 1/2 meter of this, and I want to make something for my mother. Still trying to figure out what. Might see if I can make her a project bag. She did say she wanted one, so perhaps we'll go for that. I also found, I stalk eBay like nothing, like crazily, and I managed to find a fat quarter of the Kath Kidston Winnie the Pooh fabric. I'm in heaven. So I'm going to make myself a project bag, and I might be able to squeeze one out for my mum. I love this. We were going to we wanted to get things from the actual collection, but it sold out far too quickly. And I mean, we were on pre-order. We were told in advance when things were coming, and we still missed out, so you know, that's why I stalk eBay. So this is going to make a nice sturdy, because it's the canvas fabric. That's going to be lovely. That one. What else have I got? Oh, okay. We'll show you that one last. Oh yeah, when I was out in town with my sister, because my sister came up the other week, I was trying to find something to trim this with. I just thought that was probably the closest we're going to get, which is just a Life DK from Stylecraft in the colour denim. But then I also, weirdly, stumbled into a yarn shop I didn't know existed in York. I've lived here nearly 3 years. How did I not know this was a place? So it's called The Makery, and it's up Gillygate. Gillygate? I think it's Gillygate. But astonishingly, I found some of the local yarn store day, the local yarn shop day, 6th of May 2017. I still found some of the West Yorkshire spinners. I saw it and I just like, yes, I will have that. Because obviously I thought, oh, I'm never going to get there, 6th of May, middle of exams. So I didn't make it to the first yarn shop that I was going to. They sold out like on the day, but they still had it. So that is exciting. Can't wait to knit them up. So yes, we've got that. And I also bought, I don't know why I bought these. I cannot remember. I think I wanted to knit a pair of Christmas socks with chunky stripes. So I got some Sirdar Country Style Wool Blend 4-ply, which is 40% nylon, 30% wool, 30% acrylic. If it's got acrylic, why was I going to knit socks in it? I don't know, but they do go nicely together, and they're quite plump. Maybe I could do some colourwork mittens. 4-ply? I don't know. I don't know. They're very Christmassy though, so that's that. And the last thing I bought out and about around York was for something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and that is unravelling a sweater. It's something that's always been recommended as someone on a slimmer budget to get a sweater's quantity of yarn. So I just went into a charity shop and found a men's jumper. It's huge, and I love it, but it is just huge. It's perfect colours for me as well. But this is the thing, it was £6, but it is, I don't know if you can see that, it's 100% lamb's wool. Why was someone giving this away? Yes, it's 100% lamb's wool. It says you can wash it. And it's this beautiful sort of burgundy reddy black colour. And I had a look on the insides. It looks like it's going to be really easy to start unravelling. She says as she pulls on a thread which is actually unravelling it. Oh no, that's the elastic. No, I have actually started unravelling it. Well, I'll be darned. Look, ah, yarn. It will then just be a case, that's a 4-ply. I'm pretty sure that's a 4-ply. If it is a 4-ply, that would be fab. Because I can knit 4-ply. So, oh, that's exciting. I may have my entertainment for the afternoon. Oh, can I do it on this side too? Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look, that's yarn. I do think that's a 4-ply. It's about the same thickness. If it's a 4-ply, there's about 400 grams here, so I may get a decent sweater out of it, or a really nice cardigan. that might be a job for me to do, and it could be really fun. My final acquisition was something I actually bought earlier in the term. I said I was waiting on a load of pre-orders, so if you have yet to receive your Homespun House Harry Potter Christmas yarn, you may want to look away for a little bit, because mine arrived earlier in the week. And it's beautiful. This is my first ever this is my first ever Homespun House yarn. This is on their plump BFL, so 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon, and plump is the right way to describe it. It is gorgeously stunning. It is, oh, it's blowing out horrifically, but basically it's this undyed with lots of these gorgeous speckly colours. We've got sort of burgundies, you can't tell, but there's like a corally caramel brown. In here we've got greens, more reds, some yellowies. Look at that. I really like these sort of dark green flecks. There's some more up there. So now I want to know what to do with it. I might combine it with another colour and make a shawl. So if anyone's got any recommendations for 2 colour shawls, I'm in the market looking for some. And that, I've now got a huge pile of like yarn squish, and I can't say I'm sad about that. So yes, moving on to my next section. That's all really the crafty content we're going to get. So for the next couple of segments, we're going to do with life at uni, and just generally we're going to talk some personal stuff, and then I will at the end I'll just give you a short rundown of the history of the Morrigan. So if you don't fancy sticking around for that, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. But for those of you interested, my life is a little bit manic, but not in a good way. For those of you who don't know, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, which means I can't do much stuff. So at the moment I'm juggling 2 modules. One is on a Tuesday, one is on a Thursday, my seminars, and at the moment it is a never-ending boulder of reading. I just finished one set for one seminar. I've got to read for the next seminar, and once that seminar's done, I read for the next and the next and the next. I haven't been able to actually take some like considerable time out for about 4 weeks. I did when my sister came up, but I suffered horrifically for it, in that I basically had a bit of a breakdown this week. I had a panic attack in a lecture. I was crying, I was shaking, I was rocking. Couldn't figure out why. We think it was just that I was pure exhaustion. So yes, that's not great. Coupled with the clocks going back, my body never deals very well with that. I'm on vitamin D supplements. I've got a SAD lamp because I also get seasonal affective disorder. So yes, not going well. And to top it off, the guy who I'm interested in may be a Vulcan. So that's not good. He says he's a Vulcan. Well, he doesn't say he's a Vulcan, he's more of a Star Wars person. But he says, yeah, no, I can't deal with, I don't want to tempt like over-strong emotions at this important moment in my uni degree. And then he turns around and says things like, I'd dance with you, and don't ever apologise, you're beautiful, and I know he's not gay, and he doesn't talk like that to everyone else, so I'm getting really, really confused. So, you know, the fact that I'm interested in anyone is a pretty big revelation. I do fit on the ace scale. That's probably too personal, but hey, I'm an oversharer. The last person I was interested to is now in fact my gay best friend, so I don't care really. Life advice from all you grown-ups: does it ever get any easier? I'm just ticking along. Can I just tuck myself into bed and do some knitting? I was going to do NaNoWriMo as well, but that was not going to happen. So yes, there's a little update on my life. Uni is a never-ending barrage of reading. Guy I like may like me, but also doesn't want to like me. Which is very petty, I know, and like first world problems, but still. When you've got the amount of issues I have, it baffles. It baffles. Oh, I didn't say thirdly. Thirdly, I nearly, as I said, I'm on the committee for swing dance. But we had some controversial issues about my disability at the weekend. About me not being able to do things, and if they keep kicking up a fuss, I might have to kick up a fuss about equality and prejudice against disabilities, which I don't want to do. And I hope none of them find this. But yes, I'm not happy. I'm sure by the time this goes up it will be resolved, because I'm meeting someone about it about half an hour, 2 hours, sometime in the afternoon. But yes, I'm sure it's nothing. Just need to set a load of ground rules. Like, I cannot be lifting chairs. Pretty much. Just that. Well, not just that. I need to go home and go to bed. But whatever. So yes, now moving on to some history, which is always more pleasant. As I said, I'm talking about the Morrigan, who I dressed up for our social dancing. I've been talking too much. I noticed that when I talk too much, I shift to my face, not the front of the camera. So look into the camera. So yes, the Morrigan. Got it written down in my little book, my show note book. Oh dear, I'm not feeling well. Morrigan is often depicted as one of the triple goddesses in Celtic myths. However, more frequently, and particularly in modern interpretations of it, Morrigan is combined into one figure, symbolising birth, life, death. So pretty much like the three faces of Hecate from, or Hecate, the Greek goddess of witchcraft, who had a young face, a middle-aged face, and a crone's face, depending on which time of day. So this idea of the triple goddess sort of is an underlying superstructure, or an underlying substructure to mythology, which is rather fascinating. Yes, but I'm not doing that for my dissertation. Oh god, that would be a good dissertation. Probably more philosophical or religion. Random. So yes, she is Celtic, so they were talking more Ireland and Scotland and good old gingers. I dyed my hair, by the way. Feeling a bit sassy. So The reason why I dressed as Morrigan and why she had all her feathers is because she's typically depicted as a shapeshifter. She can shapeshift into pretty much anything, but most typically she shapeshifts into a crow or a raven, depending on how you wish to refer to your birds of doom. Because she was also a warrior goddess who is associated with death and predicting death, which is why potentially why the idea of crows and ravens are death symbols. This is also potentially a 19th century interpretation, foretelling deaths. Particularly, there's a lot of stories about her washing armour and people spotting her washing armour before they go to war, and then those people die. So correlatory factors indicate that she's telling them they're going to die. Fun. So in this way, she is often related to Samhain, 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 which is the Celtic festival leading into the darker days, because she's linked to banshees and I thought they said propelling, prophesizing death. So yes, I felt she was particularly suitable for this time of year, and she's just badass, sassy lady. So yes, I had lots of fun at the weekend, and it's been lovely speaking to you again. However, now I have to go and do some reading on urban unrest in York, 1380 to 81. I hope you have a lovely time, week, month, however long it is until I see you again. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, give it a thumbs up on subscribe or leave a comment. It means a lot to me. And yes, I shall see you all soon, hopefully. Bye.